leadership through your Holy Spirit. And let us say the prayer that the Lord taught us. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Clerk, any petition? Notices? Honorable members, question without notice, 45 minutes. The original member for Central.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Lands, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Lands and Fiscal Planning, Honorable John Russell, an urgent. Okay, I just realized that the Deputy Prime Minister is not here, so I will probably ask this question to the Prime Minister. Yeah. Yeah.
Honorable Member,
Honorable Governor. My urgent question without notice is regarding the current vacancy in the position of the chairperson of the National Lands Board. Mr. Assistant Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank the Minister and his department for facilitating the swearing in of the Central Province Land Board members on the 28th of March 2024. Mr. Assistant Speaker, given the caliber of the Central Province Land Board members in terms of the vast experience and profiles as individuals and collectively, the Land Board members immediately commenced work together with two experts and the staff of the Central Province Administration Lands Division. They have actually achieved some significant initiatives in terms of land matters in Central Province. However, they're still waiting for the formal induction by the Department of Lands and Fiscal Planning. I am aware that the terms of the National Lands Board Chairman and its members has expired, creating a significant administrative vacuum that is negatively affecting land administration processes across the country, including the operations of the Central Province Lands Board. Given that all the Provincial Land Board chairpersons serve as deputy chairpersons to the National Lands Board chairman, the absence of an appointed chairman at the national level has resulted in delays in processing crucial land matters. This has in turn impacted land administration in Central Province and I believe in other provinces, affecting landowners, businesses, investors, economic activities that are heavily dependent on land tenure security. Mr. Assistant Speaker, my series of questions without notice to the Minister for Lands and Fiscal Planning are: first, Can the Minister inform this Parliament on how soon the Chairman of the National Land Board will be appointed to restore the proper functioning of the National Lands Board and ensure that Provincial Lands Board can effectively carry out their mandates? 2, what interim measures, if any, have been put in place to ensure that the absence of the National Lands Board does not continue to disrupt land administration processes at the provincial level? Number 3, are there future plans for the government to consider amending the law to allow provincial lands boards to function independently in such circumstances? This matter requires the urgent attention to restore confidence in land administration and governance in my province. Before I sit, I would like to firstly thank the Speaker for appointing Honourable Francesca Semoso, the member for North Bougainville, as Assistant Speaker of Parliament. Thank you, Assistant Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the people of Central Province.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Me like talk thank you, Lord Governor Blong, Central Province. I'll ask him this important question pertaining to the National Lands Board. I want to give assurance to her through this question that at the very earliest we shall fill the vacancy and get the appointment worked on, and the subsequent work in as far as the provincial land administrations and the provincial land boards can be assisted. But I would ask, Assistant Speaker, that she puts the question in writing. Pasim Kamlong, Lands Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and he will respond accordingly. But to give him barely see long M, Lands Board Secretary will be filled at the very earliest. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
The member for Baika.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Long given time, long people long like question me go long Minister long mining. Before me asking question go long Minister long mining me kissing house long people long lagay na program too long passing talk sorry bang go long people of New Ireland, people of the country long passing long late Sailors Chin, one of the last men standing. Even Bungam long mid-90s long, what big community school time become, what big one time, say Albert Kipalana. Then the last time he stopped on time long, overseas long 6 months, he got privilege now long, stop on time. One time Isla, to me to thank you long, the government long, recognizing you, Honourable Counsel, Kamdaru long, sit down, chair in Isla meeting. Time Ibla looks away long, leadership long, say J long, 2 plus is 2 time Ibla. In passing, Ibla very important law amending constitution of the country. To one kind time government it looks away long, on the married long, sit down long, say as there. So time on Papa long Ibla, losing Ibla long, the country, Ibla young planner, Mama, beginning of the country, Sanab long, kissing the country forward after 50 years. Country, go straight, go long, road no good, mountain, rain, sun, but you go yet reaching destiny plus the country. Thank you, President. What I'm Islam, me ask him, and third time me ask him. Last mining minister me ask him, last time to me ask him, now me ask him again. One time through, community development agreement law, Pokora government by Pinis. I've been failed 6 times. I'm finished yet, and I'm failed yet. So, CDA blow Pogora conclude yet. My resettlement, I'm no come up yet 30 years now. So this long line been my sleep array long SML area. and villages using Kolapi na Panandakan, Alpis, Emol illegal manas go sleep lab na making trouble long Okra gold mine. So Emol stop inside long SML area. So resettlement no come up yet. Na as last agreement and CDA no come up. So me like I want a clear time frame of when we would conclude the CDA. It has failed over and over again, and I need a short answer by now. Thank you.
Mr. Minister for Mining.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Dr. Thank you, Lord. Ask him second time, I think, yeah. Thank you, Assistant Speaker. CDA, ME almost done. 95% has been done. So 5% and some legal issues tend to become also big fly issues legally. So hopefully by end of maybe this month or next month should be ready or should be completed. Also we can assure you that was report me like sim through law or mix him through law or team law me law MRA and they are almost there. So I'm also begging number one. Number two, also resettlement all illegal miners that only start giving plenty heavy na yumi. Sorry lol big company like making work na plenty heavy come up lo road na plenty heavy come up lo mining site, especially release area, alluvial. You have plenty only go come na make him couple of time control the hardly leak as well. At least online do you me manage him. So resettling more and some work that I mean like progress, some like progress. So maybe maybe before June, July or kind something or some we will see some big improvement along areas like identifying lands, identifying some source of fundings that we can use in resettling on kind of some contentious issues that are there, like fundings, like land, or this plus of provincial line together with our department are working around the clock to get this out of the way. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Kariku. Ijivitari, sorry. I apologize.
Just took Taritas. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. My question, without notice, is directed to the Minister of Law. Highways, Waxen Highways. Tuplak, asking Blomi number one time by releasing 10 million kinablo. Rot belum playa lo, after Safia, kamuselo kupianos, la 10 million ya siliblo. Section playa, department yet stop na. One playa finish na imi start in playa na. So, question blomiam. One time la 10 million kinaba release Kalo district or to the contractors to start the work. And secondly, we have gone ahead and put our own district money to start the road. Our district doesn't have any road connection between the 3 local level governments. So road connection, we will start working la for Peninsula Safia on our way now towards Safia local level government. So, but problem now garden blolman na wane mi play machine woglo kungutimi al koros no passim road, passim construction. So my question now is that bit of paying for the landowners lorotia where machine kungutim garden blol na kokonas na buay na this one. By kamananit lo yupla work so bamipla district mitim this law expenditure lo paying all damages that are done when the new roads are created. So I'm still to la question lo midaso. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Mr. Minister for Works and Highways.
Thank you, through your Assistant Speaker, me like this timeless la morning lo. Thank you lo. Good bla asking bla member bla TVWAN. Lo tupla all couple pertinent questions lo you. Me answer him last one past ten, no be me finishing one. First one. All gardens na all roads ikamosem lo hap lo Safia na within lo LLG lo you kapna no sem by district yet by money lo pay some compensation. Our roads kamosem. Already lo connect PNG and me play no got all compensation, especially all gardens. But by law, but he got all compensation or roads where all you starting finish kamosem lo eligible or sem middle finish by. District Pastor lo podi salamani lo pay some gardens, especially within lo 40-meter corridor. All gardens where or some bush house or some all badanus or some all breadfruit na all some all fruits or some all kage all sem I bagrabim within lo 40-meter corridor compensation by Masiko, but road is start finish lo haply na kam all some the districts you can, especially lo district play you can compensate na kam pay some lo manuset all gardens lo only destroy. So this plan me make him clear lo you. Number two, ask him lo road lo hafore kam lo about me play I budget and all appropriations. Some time appropriations or budget 10 million. You don't have come full 10 million law district law department. So appropriation some time funds we don't have come, but law record law me plan law trust law works and me plan got 4 million law display road, 10 million. 4 million law display road, you fully aware law display. Now display money me stop 4 million me start law trust. Now me play been talk.
Minister, you have a point of order.
Sorry, Minister. Stop lo budget last year and 10 million. So trust to get on 4 now and me Paul but lo budget lo last year. Must me just took some 10 star lo budget ya. Ose na mi ask lo disla. Sorry. Thank you, Mr.
This plot 10 million by me check him. Online department lo mina come back lo you but lo record lo me play got 4 million lo trust. Me play got 4 million lo trust. Na me been talk to lo you some time ago finish. So come na kisim splo money so you can start the road. Lo Safia na come down lo above. But you know been come na kisim splo money. So by me check him department na by me come back lo you but by me check him lo today. Now, I'll come back to you with 10 million. Respond with 10 million, also 4 million. But all me have 4 million and Mr. Trust. Now, you are fully aware of that. Thank you.
Member for Kainan 2.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Looks out people of Kainan 2. Number 17, me like silent talk sorry. On behalf of people of Kainan 2, na family of me go along. All line long New Island. Our family was a late said Julius Chen, last man standing. Long die blogen, you will get a sorry start. People talk sorry go. Number 2 something me like talk thank you congratulate him speaker or looks away, give him chance on behalf of people of Kainan 2. Long Wambla Mama and me can sit down or same as speaker on this noble house. Now by looking, you can look out him boom long or leaders from this country. We talk congratulations long Honorable Francis Casemoso. Along as them sit down along this place here, also Assistant Speaker. Question for me go begin long Minister long works na highway. Na question for me relate long this road I start lo Kainan 2. Igo sem lo kapa, roni mi kan go sem long lufa na pinisim long haplom bena. Despla road, emi wambla important road link inside lo Eastern Highlands. Na mi pra lukim despla government am need long
connect PNG program, give him plan, big money go along, all highway and road, all linking, all districts, communities, na people, loan services, lo government. Na last year, we plak sim talk sabe, long Eastern Highlands, lo assembly, before lo plak boom, lo budget, lo Eastern Highlands provincial assembly, lo sem. Government, any committing 87 million, lo connect PNG program, lo upgrade him na sidim, Despla road. We been put him submission, igolo you, Minister of Works, lo 101 million kilo submission, lo upgrade him Despla road. Road, you know, save him district kilometer, so, and save him Okapa district, where member of government, any staff, and save him Lufa district, where one minister or M2M minister, and some member of NEC, and save him Ungabena district, where minister 2 is staff long. So people plan the leaders in Salosla house, look out in all people, majority of the population, lo is knowledge staff. Na plan di people supporting government staff. Na people looking, there's a commitment to come up, talk sabe taso people kisi. Me seeking budget paper, as a speaker, me no looking this allocation. Suppose me no looking, na me making mistake, good minister of works me can correct me. Me like sabe, when in time, but you look sabe, but people go Eastern Islands. Long Despla road, yeah, important road, an economic road. You don't talk about economic road, then you put the money, go come planning hub. Some hub, you walk in road, you go hub, when no money stop long. You go about Western road. Now you look him, then you go look him. How all people is stop. Number is stop. Walk coffee, when they can something like the car side stop Western road. Now government, even look 7 on Despla, Rombla time he come. Now be like, ask him, Minister of Works. True, Despla money, government even look him, allocate him, they plug him, talk sabe, or no got. Now suppose no got. When we send or ask now by no got. Now suppose he got, when in time, by this black government, I need to connect PNG or NAPA program. By look, na select him restaurant, na sirim, lo people, lo Eastern Islands. 5 electorates, we plug him service on this road. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Mr. Minister for Works and Highway.
Assistant Speaker, through you, me like talk, yes, Despla road lo, kanantu kolo lufa na kolo kapa, Despla hub, very important economic coffee road. Me pla anani lo connect PNG, me play fully awelo Despla road. Me play start, he like walk long end. Now even got some issues come out of Despla road. So Despla road anani lo EDB funding. Me play like walk long end, but I think I want officer. Only been killing lo Despla hub, so only pull out. Now me play walk lo Despla the stop, so anani lo EDB lo co Highlands. Me play being at the trends only approving this, NEC approving Despla funding finished, so cross to time by me play put him law tender. Now start law funding Despla road through law ADB. So we are onto that road. Despla road is a very, very important road. 75 districts. Now also economic road. Also you correctly talk. So me appeal law people blow. Despla 5 districts also. People start law progress in more source blow funding law start to silly more Despla road. And I look connect PNC, but then Despla issue come up. Now me play pull back, now me play through law ADB. Me play get some law fundings finish. So I'm play cross time up the law. Tender and start law walk law Despla road again. Law straight him. So me appeal law. Member want them all people blood Despla 5 districts. Also road underneath law Marabel also government only committed. Also law Despla road law Eastern Islands too. Me play walk law cross to by me play start him kanan tu kalau obura one another na narapla road to lo kanan tu all ceiling tu bolo come up lo kanan tu. So plenty progress come up lo Eastern Islands na lo kanan tu. Also Cross the time by me play avodim. Fallen road lo Gorokatu, lo town. So plenty, we plan on losing the Eastern Islands because Eastern Islands have economic through lo coffee, and we have lo coffee na plenty. All West Coast plenty or something come lo Eastern Islands. So Maraberos of government through lo connect PNC only committed lo Eastern Islands. So road lo display happen in play by the bill na silim. So all people don't black any got access law. All market na, all nabla something. Pantem display. Thank you. So,
The member for Goroka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Lord. Give time, Lord. Me, make a legal question from me without notice. I'm going to Minister of State Enterprise. Legal question to solve. Mr. Speaker, question from me, me like Toto Kloya concerning some issue belong. All one big plan, bank in this country, Bank South Pacific. You got some issue when stop inside of this bank, requiring attention from government. That me like putting on this floor so that you make it sour and addressing the issue of this bank. BSP, one big bank in South Pacific, Mr. Speaker. You know, Papua New Guinea all. Now I'm employing more plenty of Papua New Guinea citizens, more than 2,000 citizens. Now, ripple effect of this employment, all employing plenty more inside of the country. So, Mr. Speaker, they also, BSP Bank, they also representing 51% of the banking share inside of the country. Now, inside of some country, 100%. Kind of some Samoa, Tonga, Niue, and BSP Tasostab inside. Mr. Speaker, concern Blomina, concern Blol Sample staff inside long BSP Bank and Gosem. All staff all national staff are marginalized. Lo bank yet. We are now importing a lot of expatriates inside lo Kam lo Kisi plus all national staff. Plenty all position all national staff all management of BSB, he rename him, and they are suppressing our staff. Work where all nationals you can work in. They are now importing staff from smaller countries, from other countries, to come and do the jobs that we can do in this country. And we have been marginalized in our own country by our own bank, by our own board of directors. If you look at the management system of BSB Bank, we only have less than 10% on the top management of this country. All the time, all expatriates from outside countries. Yet, we are declaring 1 billion kina profit. Now, this 1 billion kina I'm come away. I'm come money people of this country. In a legal country, also in Fiji, in Samoa, in Tonga, in Niue, in all this country. I'm come money Papua New Guinea. Yet, we are marginalizing our staff in our own country, in our own banking system. My question without notice, sir.
Sorry, Honorable Member.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt
What
you.
is the government doing about this? What is the government's policy, legislation to protect our staff?
Honorable Member, sorry let me interrupt you. Question, please ask him, Minister.
Minister of State Enterprise, Minister of ICT, Minister of Immigration can also take note, and Minister of Labor can also take note. My question with the simple is that what are we doing to protect the rights of citizens of big corporation also? We are also, facing kind issues, kind problem, or big multi-million company, we all come inside the country, they're also doing that. But coming from our own company inside of Papua New Guinea is unfair to us. It's injustice to the people of Loyumi. So my question is, do we have a legislation to protect our people? The National Content Plan is supposed to protect our people's rights in terms of employment. As a bigger shareholder, I'm giving government stuff, yeah? What are we doing to bring this issue to the board level and down to the management level to address this issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Minister for State Enterprise.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I want to thank the member for Goroka for asking this very important question. In fact, this question has been raised informally by many of our people in the social media as well, and this matter has been discussed at various sections. First, I want to set the record straight, and that is that the Bank of South Pacific is not owned 100% by our Papua New Guinea shareholders or institutions. The banking laws do not allow one single shareholder to own more than 20% of a bank, because the banks normally deal with other people's money. So, and these are rules set up by the Bank of PNG, and these are banking laws you find in many other countries of the world. So PNG is not an exception, and banking is an international business. And when the Morata government decided to merge the two banks, the former PNG Banking Corporation and the smaller BSP, the laws required our government to sell down, and that was why KCH was nominated as the shareholder, and eventually it ended up owning only 20% as is required by the law. And if you look at the share register of BSP, the top 6 shareholders are our Papua New Guinean institutions. The rest are international investors as well. So we do not own BSP 100%. It's a bank owned by many investors, both domestic and international as well. So you have a lot of other pension funds, even overseas investors who are shareholders. And as we all know, BSP operates not only in PNG, it operates in other parts of the Pacific region. So when you go back to the staff or employees of the bank recruits the best people who can work anywhere in the world. Banks are by their nature international, and our public citizens who are employed by the bank have to meet those requirements. And if they are found wanting, the bank will, of course, either retrench them or terminate them. So the fact that it is headquartered in Papua New Guinea and the majority is owned by our national institution does not necessarily mean that this bank will lower its standards. So the issue of our Papua New Guineans being targeted and being demoted, and the decreasing number of our Papua New Guineans in the national position has been raised. I myself, Mr. Assistant Speaker, raised it informally with the chairman of the bank, and he told me that that was an issue they were looking at, and I'm happy with our member for Goroka for raising the very important question, because as we all know, if the bank is headquartered in our country and it was once owned majority by our people, then of course we are naturally concerned, and that's an important issue. In terms of who gets in, who remains employed, that is a labor law matter, and in the absence of a policy from this government requiring our banks to employ or keep our people employed to a certain level, then that is a matter that can be dealt with by our labor laws. But as it is, our labor laws do not require banks or any other business to employ our people in certain, these are business matters. Banks or any other business will employ someone who he or they think is competent and will be able to deliver for their business. Bank is a business. Business are there to make money, so these are challenges that our people have to remember. The fact that BSP was once owned by our people does not necessarily mean that the bank will lower its standards when it comes to employing and retaining people. So while we expect BSP to give priority to our people, BSP being an international bank is expected to recruit people from all over the world as long as they meet the requirements. But once again, to finish off, I want to assure our member for Goroka that I will again write to the chairman of BSP and express our concerns. And when that response is provided, I will let this Parliament know, because it's an important matter. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker.
The Opposition Leader, Deputy Leader.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Assistant Speaker, recently we have seen a spike in violent crimes across the country. My question without notice goes to the Police Minister. 50 years of nationhood, Mr. Assistant Speaker, and the government cannot guarantee the safety of its citizens. In 2023, this Honourable House passed the budget and gave 549 million kina to the police department. In 2024, it increased this funding to 629 million kina, 2024. That's a 15% increase. Total allocation from 2023 to 2024, Mr. Assistant Speaker, was 1.178 billion. Almost 1.2 billion kina. Now in 2025, we've announced the highest appropriation, 703 million kina, yet another increase, taking the total to 1.8 billion. My question is from 2023 to 2024, 1.2 billion kina. We haven't seen an improvement in discipline. We haven't seen an improvement in professionalism and standards in the RPNGC. We haven't seen any solutions for police housing, any improvements in police capacity, equipment, and conditions. We haven't seen any solution to the fleet management. We're still hiring. We're still on the hire car basis with all policemen around the country. We are not confident that we will meet the manpower targets of 7,000 by 2026. I recently called, Assistant Speaker, for the good police ministers to tender his resignation because we have lost trust and confidence that he has what it takes to be the police minister for what is so important, to the citizens of this country. So the question is, Mr. Assistant Speaker, what is the crux of the problem that's affecting the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary that is seeing a spike in violent crimes throughout the country, and what are you doing about it? Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Police.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker, and I thank the good Deputy Opposition Leader for the energy that is provided this morning with his question. Thank you. That's why na yumi balance him house, lo yumi can got opposition lo. Look save tu na challenge him government and good plan lo government, good plan lo country. Assistant Speaker, good plan question and talk lo budget. This government made a commitment to put priority in law and order. And as it stands on record, we have invested in police as a government for the first time, for the record, Assistant Speaker. The culmination of what is happening today is because over a period of time, we have not necessarily as a government addressed our policing. And so at this point in time, priority Blayumilong increasing manpower. We've been talking about this and we've already started doing so. We created the Bomana Center of Excellence to increase our police numbers. One, we've now graduated over 500 young policemen and women. And in the short intervention, we've also started engaging with provincial governments along increasing reserve numbers. And I thank the honourable leaders, those governors that have engaged with the RPNGC to increase our numbers. Let me remind the House that law and order is a partnership. It's a partnership. Yumil gatatugat moni underneath long, one respective all DSIP na PSIP blumi, yumi. And I must thank even the opposition. Thank you too long, you play usim all money you play kissim, lo you play supporting work blumi too or sem minister. It takes a collaborative effort. Let's not politicize law and order. Let's deal with what is responsibly our mandated responsibility also. And I thank all of you. And so the increase of funds to police, whilst we increase manpower, our personal emoluments must also be the same. Majority of the funds that you make kisim longem, and because you mean increasing manpower, you me too. 200 million and PIP. Okay, about 400 and you go along personal emoluments. Now challenge you me want them higher long vehicles, and you will all experience this. We use as one source of supply, which is Ella Motors, and Ella Motors has a huge challenge with vehicles coming into the country. And so while we have purchased, we're still waiting for vehicles to be in country, and therefore it puts us in a position where you may still hire. So this is some of the challenges that we are facing with reorganizing our fleets, vehicle fleets, to support all our provinces and districts in terms of our logistic support for our police force. So, Mr. Speaker, tok money na bikla money mi pla kisim na address him law and order, and mi pla walk long making. We are taking the responsibility to do so, to ensure that we increase our numbers, provide the appropriate logistics, and the challenges are there, but the intent is there, and we're doing it. So, Mr. Speaker, me just talk thank you. I hope me clear in this la tok money come long police. We continue to do so. I just appreciate all the members particularly the provinces that have signed up with the Yumilo Reserve, increase the manpower, reserve manpower within each of our provinces for them to be engaging with the RPNGC in terms of increasing our presence in our communities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We have a supplementary, Governor.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. I think with great respect to the Minister and to our hardworking men and women in blue, the question is more of an M&E question. It's asking about outcomes, not so much about how much the amount of money has been given. We know that significant funds, and this House has approved significant funds to the police. The question that's coming from the community is that, what is the impact of that money? The community would like to see the police taking control of the law and order situation and as much as possible making our lives safer. So the question from the Deputy Opposition Leader is about making the lives of our people safer. So it would be nice if the Minister could answer to us, not just on the money, but go beyond the input, which is the money, and let's get to the outcomes, which are the results. I think that's what the Deputy Opposition Leader is asking, and I'd like the Minister to perhaps give us an insight into that. Thank you.
Mr. Minister for Police.
Thank you, good Governor, for this supplementary question. Mr. Speaker, like I said earlier before I spoke of the financial support that all of us have supported in terms of supporting policing, the correlation of increase of our numbers and the interventions that we're doing as a government will not happen overnight. It takes consistency, it takes the efforts to address and get results, not overnight. You planning banana teti no pekem fruit blossom tomorrow. It's common sense, but the intent is there. The policies increase our numbers, ensure that we get appropriate expertise into the police force, and that's what we've done. This House cried out for international support, and we've opened up the recruitment to our Commonwealth officers to bring in the expertise that we need, because there's a shortfall in our capacity in the police force. There's no trust anymore within the police force. And so by bringing this expertise, we bring up the skill set in order to empower our men to be able to appropriately execute their jobs. And so the results are going to come, but we need just time to get it, to work through it. It's a process. You all should know this. Ba mitok pisin na mitok gen. You planning ba na natin tayo na kay blongan tomorrow? Nataswali mi puti mo dislamani kami inside lo police force. Now, you have been stopped long time also whole of government since 1975. And sila government mi work lo take responsibility. Mi to kamas lo yupla tu. Mi tok but mi support him na mi tok thank you lo yupla tu put him support lo help him police force. I need both of your support in your respective district and provinces. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
Honourable Member, I will not entertain the supplementary. I give the floor to Member for above.
With due respect, law and order is an important issue.
Oh, it's already appointed.
Honourable Member for above.
Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you, Assistant Speaker. Is it possible to request for extension for question time?
Yes.
The question is that the question time be extended to by 20 minutes. Those in favor, please stand. Honourable Member, you may not get number law extended. Honourable Member for above.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker, for asking me to maybe the last question. My question without notice goes to the Honourable Minister for Intergovernment Relations. Yesterday, Honourable Assistant Speaker, the Minister did advise the Parliament and the country that in the budget there is about over 100 million allocated for the coming local level government elections. Today, as we are speaking, it's only 5 weeks to go before the REACH are issued on the 24th of April. And as you and I know, 5 weeks is a very short time. There is a lot of apprehension out there amongst managers of elections, provincial election advisory committees, returning officers, etc., and the issue of updated electoral roll and everything. And then 2 formats of presidential election, one by the people and in the Highlands region and Morobe by the ward members. And so I have 3 questions, Honourable Assistant Speaker. The first one is, I understand that there is about 19 million worth of checks yet to be approved, and we are running out of time. When will those be cleared so that Electoral Commissioner can start having funds to make the election work? That's the first question. Second question is, I understand, like in every other elections, both national and local level governments, that you will be asking the provincial governments and the district development authorities help you with the coming elections. When will you issue those instructions? And how much are we going to allocate to help in the LLG elections? If that is going to be your instructions, where is this, when is the funds going to be released to the provinces and the districts? Maybe you are expecting from the DSIPs. If we are going to be helped, and if you agree, if you admit that you are going to give instructions to provincial governors and administrators and DDAs to help you in the forthcoming elections. And I must admit that we need to help each other. I think in the LLG elections, I think the provincial governments and district authorities should be able to help, but we need the funds also, and we only got 5 weeks left before the REACH are issued. The last question, Assistant Speaker, is
over the years, in LLG elections and national elections, we've always asked provincial governments and local level governments to help. Mr. Minister, through you, Assistant Speaker, would you have any plans to transfer the functions of local level governments to provincial governments, rather than national government taking responsibility? Because there's so much Waigani swamp issues, procrastinating, warranting issues, management issues, role update issues from Waigani to provinces, ward recorder not being allowed to present, all those issues are. And I believe that provincial governments and local level governments can do all these administrative functions better. Would you agree that your government should now plan to transfer the powers of holding local level governments to the provincial governments? Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
Mr. Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker, and I thank the Honorable Sepu Pukatemu, member for above, for his very important questions at this juncture of our history, particularly as we prepare for LLG election, which I made reference to yesterday in response to questions being raised by member for Karamui. And thank you for the issues that you have raised. They are very critical and important issues that we should be mindful of as we prepare for this important election. As we know, LLG, local level government, is defined under Constitution, and therefore it's a creature of Constitution and a very important part of our government system, just as national government is and provincial government are. I did mention yesterday about the funding issue, and funding issue has been identified, and Mr. Assistant Speaker, it's 180 million kina. We would have not gone ahead if we had not consulted the Electoral Commissioner, because by law, my ministry can organize LLG elections, but to conduct it, it's the responsibilities of the Electoral Commission. And therefore, that responsibility in terms of conducting and also how funds are to be utilized lies with the Electoral Commission or Electoral Commissioner. And so as you made reference to 90 million kina floating checks, I'll leave that matter to Electoral Commissioner as well as, of course, government to look at. But given the importance of this election, we cannot defer it any longer. We need to have third level government functioning on the ground, and therefore the election is going ahead. After this, I will be in close consultation with my colleague minister, the Minister Assistant Prime Minister, Honorable Richard Masere. We'll continue to liaise and talk to each other about how this LRG election is progressing. So, insofar as your first question is concerned, I think I've answered that. The issue, as I said, the issue of 80 million, so 90 million kina floating checks, insofar as Electoral Commission is concerned, we'll leave that matter to Electoral Commission, but our priority is to organize this election, and the funds that are therefore allocated must be used for that purpose, solely for that purpose, so that our third level government is functioning. I didn't really get what you were referring to your second question, but third question you referred to is transferring the function of LLG to provinces. It's a good suggestion. It's something that we can continue to look at as we look at reforming provincial government systems, especially when LLGs are in the rural communities where much of them are located in the provinces. But these are issues that we can look at into the future as to how we can improve the functions of LLG on the ground. If they were to still exist in the national level as it has been, then so be it. But if we think otherwise, if we think LLG administrative LLG governments can exist at a provincial level, and then that's issues that we need to look at. But we need to find best solutions so that we can deliver to our people. Because LLGs are where the majority of our people are. That's where we should be, reaching out to our people. That's where we should be ensuring that there's government presence. And so the reforms that we have done are basically to do with that. Yesterday I did cover, particularly the leaders that we are looking at in terms of...
Honourable Minister, we have a point of order. Honourable Member, what is your point of order?
Speaker, the point of order is Minister is diverting away from the three simple questions. One is there are not 90 floating, but there is 19 million worth of checks that earmarked for the elections, but they haven't been cleared yet. And second question was, will the districts and provincial governments, will you give instructions to provinces and districts to help you in the local level government elections?
Minister?
Thank you. I think in relation to your second issue, I think there's understanding that LLG election or any election for that matter is a collective issue. And that's where provincial government and national government come together, including districts, in sharing costs so that we can minimize the cost, but more importantly, we do the election so that we have third level government on the ground. So if you're referring to what I've said, we should be looking at shared responsibilities, just like any other issues that we are looking at. I think we have also looked at the issue about census. It's the same thing. We cannot just say it's a national government's responsibilities. It should be provincial government as well as open members. And that's where we come in to try and minimize the responsibilities or the issues that we have to address so that we can adequately address the issue of LLG election on the ground. Because if we make a mistake, and if there's no third level government, then we have a problem on the ground. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Honourable members, asking me no gatok sabe belongam time elapsed. Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament that councillors and pastors from Raikos LLG, Madang Province are present in the public gallery. On behalf of the National Parliament, I extend to them a very warm welcome. Minister for Justice.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. The questions raised by my member for Sinasina Yongmul, I would like to place on the notice that my questions are quite thick and big. It will be placed on the notice and the answers, because it spells out the policies in which how they are appointed.
Honourable member, you can ask him. Can you seek leave from the chair? Yes.
Sorry,
Assistant Speaker, I seek leave of this Parliament to answer. I'll seek leave of this you to answer a few questions which was directed to me by the member for Sinasina Yongmun.
Is the leave granted?
No.
Leave granted?
I asked you, and I did not ask for Parliament, Prime Minister. You can answer that question, not the Parliament.
Leave granted.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Certain questions have been directed to me regarding King's appointment of King's Counsel. This was never done before. This is for the first time that we have done it. And I'm proud to say that we've taken a step. Therefore, these questions are pretty long, and I've gone to the history, and for the benefit of the members of Parliament and a member for Sinasina Yongmul, I would like to place on the notice so that you can be adequately answered, and I don't want to take much time about members' grievances and debate. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, can you seek leave from the corporate to put in the answer? Put the question in the answer.
Before you take that step, I'm calling for a point of order.
Honorable Member, what is your point of order?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Acting Assistant Speaker. I don't believe that incorporating it into the Hansard is an adequate approach. This is a very, very public legal issue. We've articulated that question openly on the floor of Parliament. All the stakeholders are out there waiting and watching for an answer. So if he's got an answer today, after 6 months of procrastination, then he needs to read it out on the floor of Parliament. And Mr. Assistant Speaker, I want him to have every opportunity to do it properly. So I'm happy to wait until next Tuesday at question time, give him the privilege to read his answer to this Parliament so we can all understand exactly how, not the NEC, not this Parliament made that decision, he unilaterally made it. Now he can't use the word we. So we want him to carefully explain why he unilaterally took that decision next Tuesday, not now. That's the appropriate procedure. It's a public issue.
Honorable Minister, do you want to answer it or you want to incorporate for the next week?
Mr. Assistant Speaker, he has the right to ask questions. I have the right to answer. This is the way I'm going to answer. And you have made a ruling already. And I want to apply to you to incorporate in the answer.
Point of order taken, already made it.
Minister. Minister, I asked the chair to ask the leave of the incorporate.
Mr. Assistant Speaker, I once again seek leave to incorporate my answers to the answer.
Leave granted.
Assistant Speaker, you have to make a ruling to my point of order. You have to make a ruling to my point of order.
Leave granted.
New to the chair. Correct it. Mr. Grievance.
And somebody has switched off my speaker, so I'm not on record. I'm talking. Can we stop sabotaging debates on the floor of Parliament? I need to be here.
Get the card and swipe. Press the card. Stop the card on the word.
Press the button.
I'll give you my credit card.
You see, Mike will not come out.
Honorable member for Sinisene, you give him a answer law incorporated. The answer am a public document by all public can kiss him a document and read it.
Me like asking supplementary too. So how by me walking towards me no sound answer?
Oh, your mic is on now.
Yeah. And I don't know whether he said yes or no. I don't even know that. I think we do it properly, Mr. Assistant Speaker. Let him answer it in full on Tuesday. It's a public issue. We can't bury it and hide it. Why are we trying to do this? Even the courts are interested in knowing the answer. So far, they've not recognized.
They've switched you off again.
They've switched me off again.
Honorable members, the chair has already made the ruling already, so we will go straight to the grievance debate. The honorable member for Warrior.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Thank you, looks out, Lord, people of Warrior. Assistant Speaker, me sana playa lo working grievance debate. Grievance debate me with regard to Eden Valley MOA review. But before me talk this la me kisi mouse no all the people lo Warrior. Na mi la passing condolence lo mi pla kolong all people lo New Island. Na namatay na pawali lo great loss lo on ba chief criminals in the country, said Julius. Mr. Assistant Speaker, please by you give me time more lo mi ba I want to letter me read him lo give him the mining minister because me plo DDA or duly elected member of parliament me plo no included long on mining projects lo talk time all sit down lo talk long MOA lo mining project. So this letter lo me Osin blong Warrior lo coincide blong review blong Eden Valley mining agreement. Mr. Assistant Speaker, the Eden Valley mining MOA review has been delayed for over 10 years when it was revised in 2014. I did not understand why it was delayed for so long until I read the revised MOA myself. No, it was draft revised. I did not understand it was delayed for so long until I read the MOA draft myself. The late Deputy Prime Minister and member for Bulolo, Honorable Sam Basil, wouldn't support it because the 2014 draft review was completely left out the Bulolo district as one of the key stakeholders. My good minister, this should not have happened. This because provincial government and national government are not always on the ground and face the socio-economic impact of the mining operation. It is usually the DDAs and the LLCs that are very close to the people, and we face and feel those socio-economic impact of the mine on a daily basis. Therefore, the DDAs and LLCs should be included in the stakeholder agreement.
Yes, yes. True, true.
Assistant Speaker, following are the contributions of the people of Wagwaria to the current Eden Valley mining MOA review that will be going on maybe next week. Number one, the Wagwaria district, the new Wagwaria district. The MOU was drafted before the creation of the new Wagwaria district. Therefore, the revised MOA must include Wagwaria district in its entirety. Wanama pe bulolo stablong emya, putting Wagwaria tulon slab. Number two, establishment of Eden Valley Development Foundation. That's a new entity. We already have 3 entities to deliver development to the impacted communities. These are provincial government, DDAs, and LLGs. There is no need for the establishment of a 4th entity. When we create new entity, we create new cost structures, we create new problems. Therefore, delete, remove, strike out that clause to establish Eden Valley Development Foundation from the revised MOA draft. That's the position of Wagwaria district. Number 3, national government commitment to the infrastructure projects for impacted communities. The listing of the projects in MOA for the impacted communities was not working in previous MOA. There is no guarantee that these infrastructure projects will be funded by the national government in this new MOA. Therefore, I demand that the national government must create an annual budgetary allocation like it did for Wafi Gorbu and other mining projects. Annual budgetary allocation in the national budget is the only guarantee and assurance to the impacted communities that the national government will fund these infrastructure projects. Number 4, royalties. Precedent is already set by Morobe Provincial Government and Bulolo District when Honorable Luta Wenge and late Honorable Sam Basil signed an MOU to split the Morobe Provincial Government's component of the Eden Valley royalty. That same spirit of understanding must be carried into this revised MOA, but this time include the new Wagwaria district. Equity, number 5. There is no mention of equity in this MOA review draft. So I call upon my good Prime Minister and other state negotiating team to also consider this in the Eden Valley MOA review. Special support grant, number 6. There must be MOU between provincial government and the impacted DDAs and LGs where to apply the special support grant. That's number 1. Number 2, even the price of gold, even though the price of gold has increased dramatically since the signing of MOA, but the value of SSG for Eden Valley has not increased. This disconnection must be addressed in a new draft MOA. Number 7, tax credit scheme. The Eden Valley mining project, joint venture project, has operated for over 15 years now. There should be no excuse that it will be on a taxable position or not. It is already in the taxable position. National government, you are struggling to fix my Wau-Bulolo highway. So you must ensure that the mining project, this mining project is on the taxable position. If it cannot, then give the project to another developer. I demand that doubt and uncertainty implications in the tax credit scheme clause must be removed. as soon as the revised MOA is gazetted, this mining project must start paying its taxes to the government. And I would recommend that the tax credit scheme for Eden Valley must be used entirely on the Wau Bulelo Highway and nowhere else. Number 8, business development plan. To date, I have received so many complaints from landowners and community at large regarding the operations of the landowner company NKW Holdings Limited. I note and accept that the districts are in the Goods and Services Monitoring Committee. District must also be part of the compliance team that will audit the implementation of the business development plan of the Eden Valley mining project. Number 9, employment and training. Youth unemployment is a great concern for the impacted communities. Therefore, district must be part of the employment and training committee that will monitor the employment and training plan of the project. Number 10, environment. It's the DDA and LLGs that are on the ground and face the damages and impact of the environment, of the mining operation on the environment. We must, DDA must be involved in the environment inspection team. Number 11 are some community concerns that are being raised, and I would like to bring forward to. It has been an issue for local alluvial miners to get alluvial mining lease in the areas where the exploration license is held by Eden Valley. The exploration license must be given to Wawara DDA exploration company to make it easy for the local alluvial miners to be given alluvial mining lease. Eden Valley has an exploration license that covers some of the areas not within the mining area. And it is making it difficult for the local alluvial miners to get the alluvial mining lease. Because their CEO and all these executives are down back at South Africa, and our people are here struggling to get a mining lease. That has to stop and address in the new MOA. Wawara DDA and Morobe Provincial Government has budgeted, thank you Morobe Provincial Government, has budgeted to build a road from Wau to Tegatu. The path would go through the mining eastman area. Therefore, we need that part to be captured in the MOA. Harmony has claimed, number 3, Harmony has claimed that it has the title of our portion 8 of the land in Wau town. They have not furnished a copy of the title to Wawara DD yet. We have plans to extend the Wau township on this land. If they have the title, they should surrender the land to us as a matter of agency and priority. Number 4, Harmony has not built a single structure of its own in Wau town, even though it has operated in the last 8 years in Wau, 18 years in Wau. Therefore, they must fund the Wau redevelopment plan to make Wau a mining township again. This is not only for Harmony's current and future projects, they have other projects in the district too. But for all the project landowners and local alluvial miners, so they can reinvest and diversify their income generated from the Eden Valley mining project and other alluvial mining activities. I want this to be the handshake during the signing of the revised MOA. Mr. Assistant Speaker, I would like to seek the leave of the Parliament to submit the position paper of the people of Wawara to this floor, and copy will be given to the Minister.
Honourable member, suppose you have a question, you can ask him, Minister, a question on next week.
Possible me no got chance to talk lo this la MOA review. Possible me la put in this la possible me go lo formal law when me flow so that them can give go minister when me review committee. I seek leave to incorporate this position in the answer to be taken to the review.
Accepting the grant him leave.
If you want to that.
Grant him leave.
Honorable member, you can send the document down to the office of the clerk and you can petition. Preparing the acceptance letter. Sorry, you can prepare him some petition so you can send him next week.
Next week, Tuesday, you prepare the petition on the Saturday. That's a pathway that you can't
Thank you, Assistant Speaker, for the direction, Prime Minister, everybody for the direction. Yes, we will make it as a medicine in the next Tuesday session of Parliament. Thank you.
Honorable member for Binyamia.
Now. Thank you. Thank you, Assistant Speaker, Lord Luke Saville, Lord People, Lord Binyamia. First time through me, before me talking, Bell Heavy Blow me, Lord, this is the Honorable House, me like Luke Saville, late Julius Chen, on Blaikon, Lord, this country, where I'm been Malolo, me bringing bells or Lord People, Lord Binyamia, Lord family blow me, you go Lord People, blow New Island, the people blow Namatanai, Lord family blow late CJ. Bell heavy blow me where me like out him Lord is blow house and no side blow agriculture. Me like talk English but Bami must talk within because or plenty man Mary blow country all can harim. Agriculture where Bami talk lemon. Bun backside blow man Mary blow country blow me pla. Agriculture backbone blow country blow you me. And before law, oil na gas, gold na copper and mine inside blow this blow country. Country blow you me been supporting budget law, this blow country law, agriculture. Time all coffee plantation, time cocoa na copra only walk. Country blow you me been run law this blow. They me running budget law country. Awesome me like out in Bellevue awesome agriculture and stop law, blood law gata. Citizen law Papua New Guinea. You don't need law schooling more. And all born one time display. So government law you can look law display law. You me talk law create him. Work law. Plant all youth law you me where. Only round stop no last scheme law work stop. Government law you must look law display. Agriculture by game work law. All young blood law you mean all people law you me. So government must put in money. Law agriculture. Lo give him work, lo kirap him all plantation where plant all big plantation or some work he make a coffee plantation only stop. No only run down finish na stop. Before he got him name, all this all big plantation inside lo country blow me blah. Cocoa plantation, cacao plantation, a copra, na coffee, a kind of some gumans, no day district, and all big plantations see money blow, country come inside. Time is all coffee and go outside. But it's not plantation no more now big law bush grow. So me asking government law give him work law youth, me must put him enough money go inside law. Now me asking this law Honorable House. You mix him 10 million, na you work law crossfight law carry him go law 1 district. Suppose you work that and bring him. For example, you me put him 500,000 each and you me come up one time. 1 plus 59 million finish, you me can grab him 1 plus plantation. So imi okata 1 plan na toko so imi putting money na imi kirabi 1 plan plantation. Time this la work stop nara playa imi kirabi nara plan plantation. Time this la plantation work stop by looking mosem. Country imi by exporting all this blah coffee, cacao, na copra go outside na money imi tok lo forex yeah. And what this blah money go outside and by bring him come inside forex. Lo this blah country na putting money lo pocket blah man Mary blah place. Me like him thinking law. A government and law display propose section where you can make him. You mean invest in law 1 block, 2 block, big block project. Yes, plant the good block work and government and make him was law open him up all road. Now plant the all big block impact project and come up but this block agriculture you mean look lemon boon blow man Mary money we emba go down blow man Mary law blessed na but putting money law pocket blow man Mary law blessed na but bringing back and all. Youth come inside na all but work law display you me can kirabim display hurry up na give work law man Mary hurry up you me talk law oil na gas all technical man meri we go to school all ba go work lo this plan ba yumi pa ini mo this man meri stop but yumi talk lo agriculture man we go to school or man no meri we no go to school still all ba pa ini work inside lo agriculture narapla suppose yumi pa ini planti or agriculture or plantation blue yumi we mi run down we stop lem need all good plan managers lo run all this lo plantation. Suppose government need man, you may find him good man well got him technical skills or law. Kirabim or plantation, suppose lo country blue you may no God, why not you go open market, you may find him man come kirabim or running all this ball plantations blue you may. Lol can come back again, plantation can run good. Lastly, and not the least almost a talk finish. Agriculture work where you can immediately give Lolman Mary. So you may put him, you may work combine, you may put him big money inside, you may work lo tram lo scaly money go come thinly na money go finish nothing and then lo is the same house you may come crossfight na mel lo you may stop so you may bungi money na you may talk say inside lo one player agriculture you put 1 billion na you may kirabi agriculture na larim money cacao blumi black, coffee blumi black wajedna. You me salim na bring him. Foreign exchange come inside lo country blue you me. While you me talk lo oil na guest you me also. You me work lo neglect him. Carry him title blow oil na guest country but agriculture you me lose him go down but agriculture been start backside na time this la country oil na guest you me no develop him yet. Agriculture run him country so you me no can lose technical agriculture. You me grab him agriculture na you me run him one time. Thank you Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Governor for DCP.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. Grievance blomi lotete me like strong him can ask him when me been giving me go long police minister na some discussion ni come up namen lo week na. Now can me harem also some thinking he come long. Member not solely talk to. And that is the issue of how we plan, how we implement and how we get results. And the most important thing is who is going to be responsible. Earlier in the week, while there was a question being asked, I noted an intervention from the minister responsible for, I think, the Electoral Commission. And this points to, I think, one of the problems we face in the country. Nato sol mi harim ken member blo waria mi tok long issues blongol where emi involved in waria you've got about 4 different state entities that are responsible for delivering the outcome. And this to me points to the great inefficiency that exists in our system. Some time back I proposed a block grant system and I proposed a separation of responsibilities. And this goes to the heart of what comes down and constitutes what we call the planning framework that is supposed to deliver some of these results. So let's look at the police. The Constitution gives the responsibility for policing only to police, nobody else. Constitution emi tok. Suppose you like, okay, come na amend him ken na, distribute him kolol gadaman. I just heard the police minister say that there's a responsibility and all gadaman. That's not what the Constitution says. And therein lies the problem. If the responsibility is given to someone, I'm just using the example of policing, but this applies across, it applies to the Electoral Commission, it applies to the discussion that the Honorable Member for Abao and the Honorable Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government just said. The same principle applies. Who is responsible? Some time back, I had an altercation with the good minister responsible for the Electoral Commission. You know, when we were doing the updates of the, and we were asked for the census, the minister responsible for census, ECP provincial government put down 3.4 million to pay for that. The question is, who is responsible for the outcomes? Is it the minister and his NSO team? Or is it the ECP provincial government? But we were asked to pay. We were asked to pay. And the good minister stood up there and said that it was our fault. And in fact, many other provincial governments, because we didn't deliver it. But the question is, who was responsible? We just heard from the Minister of Police. Ami togol sem law and order am heavy blow yumi olgata. Yes, pen yumi sapilim. Pen people sapilim. But the Constitution gives the responsibility to his department. So I want to say here that unless you make someone responsible for the results, nobody is going to be responsible for the results. And that's what we are seeing. We are seeing this across a range of ministries and across a range of responsibilities, Mr. Assistant Speaker. So time you ask him, Minister batok noga wrong blo DDA. Time you go to DDA and batok noga wrong blo provincial government. So you be pointing finger, you go come, but nobody is actually responsible. Therefore, we are not getting the results and our people are suffering. We have a complete lack of efficiency. Start lantap, nego dan lo tamblo. And you hear members complaining today about it. The good member for Minyamia, he was talking about agriculture. And by responsibility, blow side. National government, provincial government, DDA, LLG, or some other authority. And I think the response needs to come from government. The government needs to clarify how it wants these results delivered. Suppose you plan to work blow isipik, okay, lari mi isipik work him, you plan kamna. Investigate him isipik na find him out. Mi plan Pauli money or mi plan working work good or nogat. Someone should be responsible for the auditing. Now yet, Mrs. Harim Despla discussion namelong, good plan minister blong, local level government na. Honorable member Blabao. The member for Abao has been in this house for a very long time. He's a very experienced public servant as well. So time when we ask him some question, it comes from a very deep place. And I think it's pertinent that we take note of it. And more than that, no can just harim tasol, you talk lo parliament na. After we walk out, you miss sigan, na go kage lunch na, everybody goes home. And we don't fix it. Our people are suffering out there. You can go from agriculture to policing to roads to whatever. The problem is not a solution. And here's the thing. I had the Honorable Kerenga Kua raise the question earlier to the Treasurer, I think the other day, about the issue of cutting back on the budget. Stop borrowing. I had the good member for Yangro Sausia say that, and the Minister for International Trade. Well, I'm suggesting to this House that if we come up with some efficiency between the different levels of government and who is responsible for delivering the outcomes, then you are going to make some savings. The ECB provincial government delivered a budget to the Treasurer the other day, and the Treasurer asked us, what percentage of your budget is going to the core service delivery objectives of government? Education, health, law and order. Calculation, 88% of the ECB provincial government is going to these three key requirements of the government, 88%. Now there are other departments who are given 300 million, some are given 400 million, some are given 600 million, and they are supposed to deliver on those same outcomes, not just in ECB, but in every other province. The question is, are they being measured the same way that the ECB provincial government is being measured? Or say the Western Highlands provincial government, or say the Central provincial government? Are we measured the same or no God? And is it just Treasury that's doing the checking? What about the others? And I circle back to my original point. Suppose you mean like straight in census. You mean like recording all the man Mary inside long ECP. There's a work by giving me go long electoral commission or go long NSO or by give him come back lo ECP provincial government na bien. By asking Musaid lo give him result. Will it be the ECP provincial government or will it be NSO? Usaid by giving. If we are going to register people for the LLG elections that's going to come up now, the issue of the electoral roll update, who is going to do it? Is it going to be the electoral commission? Is it going to be the district? Is it going to be the provincial government? Who is going to do it and who do we hold accountable? If we fixed all these things, I put it to this floor that you can reduce in budget blaming and you can reduce in borrowing. Right now we are duplicating these functions everywhere. And here's the other thing. If somebody does not deliver on the promise, like for example, we just said that police are picking up what, 800 million this year? ECB provincial government is spending almost 20 million on law and order with no support from the national government. But me talk thank you also Wampla Deputy Police Commissioner me go down lo weekend. Na I'm round long ECB na look how him can help him. And I want to thank the Police Commissioner for that. But more than that, suppose him responsibility belong na mipla pilim pen na mipla tram lo karim heavy. Who is actually responsible? Now suppose police is spending money on law and order, district is spending money on law and order, provincial government is spending money on law and order, and still you mean no straight in. Responsibility by low side. Who do we hold accountable? Do you hold the governor accountable? Because in ECB at the moment, every time there is a law and order problem, I'm Asuablo governor. I'm not Asuablo police. But the constitution tells me I'm Waklo police. But who is measured against it? The governor of ECB. So I want to implore the front bench of the government, please, if you're going to straighten this land, separate him, not talking me blogger. You walk in this la walk, you walk in this la walk, you walk in this la walk, and we will hold you all accountable for the things that you do. No can come to parliament beyond, you blame him over the man, district, LLG, province. It's not good enough. We need results. Our people need results. And so I ask the front bench, please help us so we can all give you results at our various levels. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Minister for Health.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. Thank you, true, Mr. Assistant Speaker. I wish to use this opportunity to join the members of Parliament to offer my tribute to one of our leading founding fathers of our nation, Right Honorable late Julius Chan. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge what the family have contributed to maritime industry or shipping industry in Papua New Guinea. A documentary by Henry Yakam appeared in the national newspaper dated 7th of February. He said this, he presented a perfect illustration of the two great pillars of our nation, saying that the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare, as the captain of MV PNG vessel, and the late Grand Chief Sir Chuluchan was the chief engineer of MV PNG. As the captain, Sir Michael was the commander-in-chief. Sir Michael was still the captain when, before leaving or departing politics, he left with us the Vision 2050. Chief engineer, on the other hand, pays attention to details. There is a certain level of coordination and trust between the captain and the chief engineer. The captain has the foresight, knowing where the vessel is heading to, and the chief engineer knows how to get the vessel to that appropriate destination. This analogy, Assistant Speaker, perfectly summarized two great leaders of our nation. One thing stands out in the late Julius Chan. He learned the skills to be the chief engineer from his father. His father, Chin Park, was a trader from China, mainly involved in shipping industry. The Chen family operates Vanmark shipping out of Rabaul for many years in East Britain province. And I acknowledge the Vanmark shipping services, especially Michael Chan, who operates Vanmark shipping. The skills of those seamen
Minister, we have a point of order. Member for Madang, what is your point of order?
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. With due respect to our good Minister, and the speech is given in recognition for the late Sir Julius Chan, this is grievance debate. So every member is opportunity to now to debate on grievance concerning the electorate or issues in the country. So to give a tribute speech, this is not the audience and time to give a tribute speech. It's a grievance debate. Thank you.
honorable members, it's a grievance debate, so if we can make him any talk him like make him like give him condolence or whatever.
Humbly important talk. Very important point. I'd like to stress here. We have MV Pomio shipping services, and we were humble to be given the privilege, the opportunity to actually transport the delegation of East New Britain Province to Huris. And I knew that, Huris is one of the shipping vessels that usually goes to my place, and supporting many of my people for so many years. And we buried the Honorable Grand Chief at Manman Tinut, and that is also one of the vessels that was named that place too. Mr. Assistant Speaker, I'd like to make a special point. I know that the Merchant Shipping Act of 1975 is still outdated to date. And we have many issues with coastal areas that must be revisited by the Ministry of Transport to make sure that they do proper assessment of coastal ports in our country. Many of our coastal ports in our country, you see the navigation lights today, they were established in the 1950s. They are actually outdated. So I want to say today, in paying tribute to this important leader, the Vanmark shipping services, many of them are now non-functioning because they fell victim to unsafe ports that we normally see along the coastal areas of New Britain Island. And I want to say today to Transport Ministry to have a look at making sure that we conduct port safety assessments on the maritime areas of our country. The shipping industry is still increasing today. The needs and the demand for shipping is still increasing today as I speak. The Maritime College in Medang was established in 1975 with a Merchant Shipping Act of 1975. And it is important also to look at these particular areas, approve the courses there, make sure that we fully accredit some of these important curriculums as well. So in paying respect to this leader, I want to say today that Pomio District now is an integral part of shipping, and we see the demand of shipping services. I call upon the Ministry of Transport to do proper assessment of ports, coastal ports in our country, to make sure that they are safe, And so that's, as part of my grievance, just want to put on the floor today to see that the Transport Ministry have a look at issuing or making sure that we see this to happen. And I want to say this and relate back to the late Grand Chief Sir Chulushan. We see that he was the Chief Engineer of MV-PNG since 1975, making sure that our economic institutions are fully established even today. In concluding, I want to, as I speak today, we have one of our leaders of East New Britain Province, who is now, as I speak, his casket is now flown to Kokopo, East New Britain Province. We have an assembly meeting today, and I want to, on behalf of my family, I would like to express our tribute and our condolence to the passing of our senior Herman Tobaning, who has been one of our pioneers in East New Britain Province and a leader in our country as well. Our sincere condolence to the member for Kokopo, the Herman Tobaning Jr., and today they've actually established one of our best model in terms of governance at the world level. So I, on behalf of my people of Pomio District, pass our sincere condolence to people of Kokopo. Thank you very much, Assistant Speaker, for allowing me to talk. Thank you.
Governor for West New Britain.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Governor for West New Britain. Thank you.
Sorry, West New Britain.
Sometimes we are under the shadow of other bigger provinces. That's what we are struggling to come out of it, actually. Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Thank you, Law. Me arim plenty good talk, Law. Grievance debate, Law. All honorable members. Me too like contribute like. Assistant Speaker, we passed recently, an important bills like recognizing Papua New Guinea as a Christian country. Mrs. Assistant Speaker, like you must research him na painimo. Before Christianity come lo Papua New Guinea, 100 years before. One something stop na keep him this la country also, surviving. be united. Because in spite of all gata this la good la value come, you may looking general degradation of moral values everywhere, everywhere. It's like, especially it's rampant, in the last, maybe in the last 30 years or in the last 20 years specifically. We need to address some fundamental issues, Assistant Speaker, rather than, of course, you mean like giving this identity, you mean no got one problem. Identity, you mean like call him also, you mean Christian country, good plan. So that's identity. Whether you mean practicing or no got, question mark. That's all by challenge. Because God, no need him recognition below you mean, below exist. Whether you may recognize him or you may not recognize him, any exist forever, always. Time Dr. Marat, omnipresent, omniscient, present lalgata. Time, but you may fail him or recognize him also, stop lalgata up. Suppose you may save also stop lalgata up, then we don't behave the way currently you may behave. Big man, stop lo, hard lalgata something. Stop lo, hard lo you, hard lo me, hard lo opposition or dog, pig. DY algata then stop. We just need to acknowledge that Yumi algata kamlo big month sole. The general degradation, Assistant Speaker, me looking. Suppose Yumi in any country will be destroyed. Suppose Yumi no respect in this plus something. Number one, actually me thinking lo, talk lo this and Governor Pakop like bring him some information law. This law, women's empowerment law, Tuesday. Number one, you by destroying this la country, suppose you no got respect law, mama law, this la country. Suppose you no got respect law, women in the country, that society, country will be destroyed. Me porade also, no good you me go towards law this one. Because law custom law me player, law place, also time me play picking yet, also a schooling also. Me third place little. Also call him also Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva, meaning also. Mata is meaning also Mama blow you. Pita is also Papa blow you. Guru is also teacher blow you. Deva is meaning also God blow you. A meaning also. Time, then the most number one important person in the family or society should be our mothers. Number two, and Papa blow you. Suppose Mama is not talk also this laman and Papa blow you mean no savelo Papa too. Tasol save. The number two most respected person is Papa Bloyumi. Number three respected person is teacher. Ya. Teacher usat give him this knowledge seven and now you talk smart. Ya. Because
Honorable Governor, we have a point of order.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Thank you, Governor Law, point of order, because me like in this talk blow in, also no me look blow you no me. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
Honorable Governor, you please chair, now you can.
Thank you.
Debate, please.
So, also me plus I respect him also. Mama am also number one respected person. Papa am number two respected person. Teacher am number three respected person. Number four am big man. Yeah. So, Mama na Papa you know stop him no na come lo yeah. Suppose teacher, give him this knowledge, import him this knowledge, looks a big man too. So, even God, and by recognizing you, suppose you got this respect, mama blow you, na papa blow you, teacher blow you, na bien you go respect him, and by like him this respect. Yeah. Because big man too, like him also, you mean by respect him, all this line, usat and bring him, you mean come lo, this world, sorry, Assistant Speaker, plenty something lo talk, but time may me run fast. Lick time to solve stuff. Number two, suppose you know respect him this la mamaya la society by destroy. Number two, emulsion teachers blow you me or educational infrastructure blow you me. Suppose you me no respect him. This la society too and by destroy. Suppose you me no got looks avelo. All work blow teachers na importance blow education law society and society by destroy. Number three, you me no respect him or leaders too. This la society too by bagara. You know why? Because time you me work ridicule him this la leader. Also mem kind name you me call him. So time you me bagarap him all leader. Then this la society too and bagarap because Time you know got one pla dedicated mama stapler society. Time you know got one pla good pla teacher stapler society. Time you know got one pla good pla leader stapler society. Usa through by bringing moral values law this la society. Today you may stapler this la dilemma because there is a general degradation of moral degradation in spite of all gata lotu kam kind you got kind divisions kind something na you may fight but you may fail to recognize him also. Time me born lo one pla family also Catholic me by come up Catholic yeah. Time me born also SDA then me by come up also SDA yeah. So one family you born deciding and big man and deciding I'm selling you go lo this lap yeah. Plenty kind lo tu na something I'm stop I'm also plenty water I'm stop lo when plenty river stop yeah. All got the river go na pull down lo way pull down lo salwara I'm also big man yeah. Destination must be the same. You may got kind road by stop. There can be more than different ways lo you may achieving this la destination. That's what you may need lo promoting this la unity because today people are dying in the name of religion too. Assistant Speaker, this la also respect lo mamaya. You may looking clearly also. Recently I want la rape case inside lo West Britain. Me talk thank you lo all policemen also all arrest him all within a week. 9 of them. All 9 of them are below 18 years old. That is very, very shocking. Very shocking because I'm also Papa na mama ya. I'm pikinini pull down also rascal mangi. How am I rascal or good man am depend how Papa na mama am look out in this la pikinini. I'll get the pikinini time I'm pull down la ground am good la pikinini ta sole. Ta sole me Papa mama look out him. Then am by come up also rascal pikinini or rapist or kind. But this is what shocking. Assistant Speaker, I'm all got the mangi, I'm below 18 years old. Police selling, of course, all selling me one bill of 41,300 kina, low one some allowance. Na this la, but that's another big issue. You may know got time low. And in general, there is the demand, the need for developmental aspirations are everywhere, be it in education or health or in any other these things. Like Governor Bird raise him on important point also. Give him responsibilities also, clear demarcation of responsibilities. Usat am responsible of one and something. You may work duplicate him plenty na. So same function he go department to, same function he go LLG or district na province to this laya. So me like appeal of Prime Minister Mr. Tok me reserve lo Tok lo. You mean Tok lo 50th independence here. The greatest gift we can give it to the country is to devolve all the powers to the provinces and districts or LLGs. Then, Assistant Speaker, you can write record law and that finish. You can write it down through country by development. You no need law reinventing one plus something. Through country by develop, through ministers by losing peace or losing work too. All the ministers too by got work. You by less law, arim law, complaint law, one governor, member law, talk law not there. Instead, you focus on important work, national agenda, talk all narapla country leaders, or talk security, or talk international trade. Suppose you me broke down all get the issue village na, ward na, this layer. Then you mean not developing country further. You mean no progress and because of this layer, because a prime minister has to please everyone. Prime minister must hire him all get the members. So that's put him too much strain na dependency law. You mean too so. Me no talk political talk. Me by stop this la position, it's not a permanent position. This and truly by bringing change inside law this la country and even if it happens in this 50th year's independence as a gift we give it to all the provinces, then within the next 5-10 years we can see a tangible result where we can evidently see all those results and the country will develop. Me talking all the time this like example blow Indonesia Bali na Indonesia. Plenty white man also Bali and stop Indonesia too. But all the like go Bali because Bali became one of the attractive tourism destinations. So that's how I'll develop. Even suppose you may got 20 province NCD.
Honorable Governor.
Last one point as well. Let me finish him this point as well. Assistant Speaker. Indonesia and Bali. Bali is popular. Even 1 or 2 province am developed. Country am developed finish. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
Member for North Fly.
Yes.
morning yet Bisana become now, so thank you. Me like talk thank you through all front benches is on the front because no Friday yet. Can't debate time here with the front benches I escape. So you blow side is sit out, thank you too much.
Don't give more. Order.
Thank you, Assistant
Honourable
Speaker.
Member, make your
because
debate.
why we mention the front bench? All ministers or cabinet members, they must take note of the issues. So when they sit there to address, and by issue law by Moki decision, with that debate lobby, and we go on one specific project where the right minister, where me, yet morning yet, he come and sit on stuff. I am Minister for Administrative Service. So, debate Blomia, am regarding NID. Department Blue work no smart more yet. You go past law, straight him NID, census, or something you come. Ling man Maria, all like go to bank, all like your NID. All like travel out, all like your NID card. All like you one school something like your NID. Or like go open bank account to NID. There's a project here, I miss it a long time queue yet you come. Now one plus social media statement all man will bagara pimya. Suppose minister you are in monogat. All man now it talk. All housing line it talk yourself. Suppose one plus NID officer come to house sick. No can attend long or lari mo die outside. I'm the same no gaman. How much plus man put the NID application, only wait lo how much plus Christmas. Still wait yet. And the report we get is very, very enormous. District Blomi, law 2022, Minister of Police by witnessing me, I'm officiating that time I'm staff the department blogger. I'm gonna me officiating me opening NID office Blomi underneath the district office Blomi. Give him money kina 500,000, on top of 700,000 me signing contract. As of today, no one play NID me printing card. Or people blooming wait there low queue. It's an embarrassment.
Honourable Member, sorry to interrupt you. You can straighten mic, please.
Thank you. So, NID card. Or people blooming not fly or apply. Plenty sit on yet low queue. Namibla wait yet. 2022, 23, 24, 25. So I'm just wondering, how about Nabla district inside the country? Nabla province, 2-1 kind or so on. It's an embarrassment for us as a country. Consumables, big old NID office, only talk as Mr. Assistant Speaker. Consumables, to print the NID card, the ink, now all that's a consumables. And costing money in Nabla close to 10 to 15 million kina. And the department, the project office is waiting for that money. And I'm wondering if the minister is working so hard or not to bring to the cabinet and address this issue. Is he talking in the cabinet to address it? I mean, make him address long, putting down this money area. Election is around the corner. Man, very needing NID card to Los Angeles lines if we're going to adapt that system. And these are the real issues we need to fix. You know, Kamlo, you mean sit down, joke, laugh, I'm not. We need to really fix this thing. Planting mouse water talk, sing out. Me blang ukim this la. So, me debate me golo. This la responsible minister or the cabinet ministers who are responsible. Can you provide us a real detailed report or a brief as to how many NID cards have been processed so far, to date? We need to know as a country so we can stand on. How much man Mary only apply minister sit down yet look queue. Now one of them heavy you facing, talking me bla house. Now a countryman. Tell your cabinet how much money mark you need it, put him go down. Now come straight him this la. Karim go give him law man, over straight him. Only talk us It's very, very difficult. They've been operating for last 2 years. Na noga wampla handmark or noga wampla money gora lo disa sexual or straight NID. Mary pigini blomi tu work lo wait lo si NID card na. Lagi me members so mixing first one. You blow gonna see maski gyama. I came here, they came here and they processed it, so we all got ours. And how about your loved ones who are waiting in queue, your uncle, your gugus, your children? So, Mr. Assistant Speaker, meeting of SEMI must make it an issue because the minister responsible must be accountable. He seems to be boasting around. He says he's concluded the census. Antam longe I'm talk NID and working pennies. That's all you know yet. So me put him in place. Lo talk showers and need to go straight to this lab before election. Thank you too much.
Mr. Daki.
Now you look sour on me. Thank you through. Before me go like Grievance Blumia, me like talk thank you like Governor Blumia like Western Islands, Honorable White Rubber. You buy him 20 block police card na. 2 block you give me like Tumble District na. More buy na day you give me plus. Nunggu me I na talk thank you lem na. Nunggu plus am plus right so we must talk thank you inshallah Parliament na. All the country bazar. You buy him 20 block police card na. You give me block one on so me talk thank you lo you. Also me like talk thank you lo you lo. You start a province na. Plan your law and orders. Minister Duma na. Honorable Jacob Maki, acting Deputy Vice Minister. Me plus talo pot mostly, but you are solving our law and orders plus. Me do thank you, you. Me acknowledge me. Me no longer one bla honorable member, district members acknowledgeable governors block. So I have to acknowledge my governor. My governor, your leadership quality place and you start on them people blue na me like slow leadership you go down. Bami what you again. Last time there was a problem long plus for me 2 blood tribes were long fight na 1 blood died na 1 blood all hagel sick na. Me no saw yet na I'm gonna go put the money lo side na and making fish lap. So honorable governor, me to thank you to we need some more governors like my governor.
Honorable Minister,
We need some more governors like my governor. Acting Speaker, me total long awesome. Grievance, I'm 10 minutes here. You know what is telling me.
Honorable Minister, we understand him. You face him chair now. You can make him debate with you.
Sorry, I'm customer. Me has to look back. So, I'm stop back set, so me has to look back because I'm custom meeting him. Probably I'm subjecting custom, so sorry, but now me look you. Thank you, Governor Blumi. Good Governor, thank you. Now long Parliament and Minister looking you. Try best ask him government asking funds no law complain law and orders no slagain. Mr. Logan you and Mr. Sindan Ishi no go back law place. Governor and was time Mr. Sindan, but I'm also asking question time long. Government doing blah, and Mr. feeling good really. Because what really I'm cheap, and but still blow province no, me like him. So what can you do for your province or your district? So you mean need law to talk now understand. You mean starting law whenever. Our province, our district. You mean working, you mean asking the government, or you mean working, you mean asking government, or blaming government, or blaming police department, and law and order, and we just bring him to the we take note. You do what you can do for your province and your district and your people, and comment on me. Number 2, you need to talk more about loan.
me come from business background. When we get more loan, our business grows, and so grow. When we get big, our business grow big. When we get small loan, our business got small. The time you miss some big, and so grow fast. Me look plenty, but you mean talk loan. You mean need to understand. Because when we come to business area, we need to get more loan. Our country should grow more and fast. Look at the work plan, and then repayment plan. You make some legal loan, big loan, no work plan, no repayment plan. And then by looking at some loan, you mix him, and but no got on la kake bagama. So that's why we are talking a lot. But do the work plan and then repayment plan. We got coffee, we got cocoa. You see, we got fish, forest, all got something here. Me black hat country here. Why don't we get 50 billion, Prime Minister? And then you distribute them all the billion, and then do the work plan, repayment plan. Set the payments loan, set the payments loan, set the payments loan. Your country will grow, man. You mean no can talk loan. You make some big loan now. Look long work plan, repayment plan. You mean no can work in politics na talk big loan na legal loan. Suppose you make some big loan. It's like legal country you mean grow. Me talk that's all. Me no talk no English kawan service no money. And all remember, me total of busy normal understand stuff. So time you make some big loan, this country. Now work plan you na repayment plan. Okay, this is coffee department. You repayment debt, I give you this one. You make some more balance. You make some more balance.
Honorable Minister, address to the Chair. Sorry for interrupting.
But you give me another 3 more minutes more, because you're disturbing me. You make some plenty balance. Now you look at price below anything go on top. Some plenty, put him lap. Some more loan, some plenty balance. See if you some plenty. You meet total loan, na parent na Prime Minister to bread loan. And number 2, number 3, last one. Plenty you meet total law, connect PNG. What is connect PNG? You meet total road, road is life. Road is life. No one work in politics, no road, na connect PNG. Road is life, it's linking to the people. See one them. Both. You mean no can try to put in politics inside long connect PNG, long boat, long solwara, not long ground. You mean masamamas. We are connecting the people. Your life, my life is connected to road only. Then power shall come in, irrigation shall come in, agriculture shall come in, health shall come in, you look. And then police will drive in. Law and order must stop. Big Labusia, fight to come, when there is no road. Police and fear long go inside. So big something. This like government and total connect PNG. You mean no can work in politics. You go to the DSIP, go back to your district, go back to your province, do something for your country and for your people. And then asking government, you give me 10 million, me work more so give me another 10 million. Acting Speaker, you aren't doing or not? So you should give me 3 more minutes.
Minister, your time is 2 minutes.
So connect PNG is life. You will not going to work in politics later. You get the DSIP and go back to your district and do something for your people. You, Governor, you go back to your people and do something for your people. And what are you doing for your province and district? And the government will help you.
Acting Speaker, M. Tassel, thank you.
Honorable members, I interrupt the debate, and the question is that the grievance debate be noted. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in against say no. Ayes have it. Leader of Government Business.
Acting Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until Tuesday, 18th March 2025 at 10 a.m.
Question is that the question be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now adjourn the Parliament to next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m.